Hi everybody, this is Osprey from MyChartCoach.com, and in this video we're going to look at the FANG stocks: Facebook, Amazon, Apple, Netflix, Google. We're going to look at Microsoft, BABA, Alibaba, Twitter, Intel, NVDA, and Micron. Okay, so these are some of the top, the top technology stocks, and I'm just going to show you the daily chart, and I'm going to go over it quick, just so you can see the current setup. Okay, so Facebook traded higher, and after hours trading, it was up 3%, and so what that's going to do is it's going to put it up here at EMA 8 at 153.35. As you can see, it hit that level last Thursday, and failed to break and pulled back. 155, basically 156. That's EMA 4. That's the pink line. It needs to close above that level and turn into support, and then also close above EMA 8. A close above both of those levels tomorrow would be bullish. If you see it stalling out at 158, that would be a red flag. If it gets above 160, will be the level to break. That was the close here last Thursday. And then the big levels, the 300-day simple moving average in EMA 13, that 162 to 163 resistance zone. So it has a lot of work to do. The big thing is turning EMAs 4 and 8 into support to get a reversal going. Let's look at Amazon. So Amazon closed up 1.3% today. It is bouncing off of that 100-day simple moving average support zone. It's a little bit lower down here at 1333. Notice the close today was right below EMA 4 at 1413, and so it needs to break above that level. Futures trading is higher tonight, so there could be a gap up open. Tomorrow you want to see it stay above this EMA 4. If it stays above and closes above, that would be bullish, and the next target will be EMA 8 at 1444. There's been some good volume down here at the bottom for the FANG stocks. If you look here at Apple closed up nearly 2% today. So it did close above some key moving averages, and it closed above EMAs 4, 8, and 13. That's the pink, lime, and orange lines, and then it closed above the 50-day simple moving average, currently at 170.87, basically 171, and now it's hitting that 100-day simple moving average at 171.67. So if you see it trading above 172 tomorrow, that would be really bullish, and then it would need to stay above that level. It'll be a red flag if it pulls back below and starts trading in the 171s or 170, and then above 172, what you want to see is a close above the middle Bollinger Band at 173.32. Once it closes back above that level, that's going to be your clear sign. Okay, yeah, it looks like a new uptrend is going to start, similar to back here when it closed above, back here when it closed above, back here when it closed above. Each time that signaled the start of a new uptrend. Fail to break 173 would be a red flag when tested. Okay, let's look at Netflix. Closed up nearly 2% today. So it closed up 2%, and it's just barely made it above that EMA 4 at 288.31 level. It closed at 288.94, so it needs to turn that level into support, and then it closed right at the 50-day simple moving average at 289.13. That's that green line. It has to get back above that level and get above EMA 4 to get the reversal going. If both those levels turn into resistance, that would signal continuation of the downtrend. Netflix is currently in a downtrend right now. A close above both those levels would be bullish, and then you'd be looking at EMAs 8 and 13 as the big levels to break. Once it gets above 298, that would be really bullish, and then you'd be looking for a run back up to that middle Bollinger Band at 308. Okay, let's look at Google. Closed up 1% today. So it had a big bounce down here off the bottom, and it did close back above EMA 4, currently at 1024, and then it closed above the 200-day simple moving average at 125.72. That's the red line. So it's bullish that it's back above 1025. It needs to stay above that level. If it goes back below 1025, that would be a red flag. And then tomorrow you want to see it close above the lime line. It hasn't closed above EMA 8 since back here before the downtrend started. So a close above EMA 8 at 1033 would be really bullish. It would need to keep the stay above both of those levels to remain in play for a long trade. What you're looking for now that two white candles formed in a row for these FANG stocks and for the technology stocks that have been dropping, you notice how that there was a white candle and no bounce, white candle, no bounce, and then over here when it starts to form the multiple white candles, that's when it gets the reversal going. So this is a clue that it's trying to heat up, but it just has to stay above EMA 4. If you look at Microsoft here, this was the big winner today. It did close up nearly 30%. RSI is back above 50 at 51. This was a huge move above major moving averages. As you could see here, it started the day way down here below the 100-day simple moving average at 88.53, and then it ran and closed near high of day. It did close above that 50-day simple moving average at 92.05. The big level to break now is the middle Bollinger Band at 92.43. I believe it closed in after hours trading at 92.55. And so what you want to see is a close above the middle Bollinger Band. It closed above that level on the 26 and it failed to hold and it pulled back. So you're looking for a bullish change in trend. You're looking for a close above and for it to hold, similar to here and here and way back here. Okay, so keep an eye on that. You know, it needs to stay above that 92.50 level tomorrow. If it drops back below 92, that would be a signal it's not quite ready to go and more consolidation. Okay, let's look at BA. It closed down 1.5% today. And so it's been, you know, it hasn't participated as well in the rebound, but it did close above the open. Notice today's candle is a hollow red candle. It shows that even though it was down on the day, the bulls were actually controlling the action into the close. There's still an unfilled gap between low of day yesterday and high of day today, so you'll be looking for that gap to fill on the bounce if the bounce continues tomorrow. And then the two big levels to break are the 200-day simple moving average at 174.64 and then that EMA 4 at 175.92. If those levels continue to be resistance, that will signal more downside risk. Once they turn into support, then you're looking for a run up to 180, up to EMA 8, you know, and so it's just that whole process of getting back above these moving averages. Has to get above that 200-day simple moving average. Okay, let's look at Twitter here. It had a nice day too. It closed up, you know, 2.6%. It's you know, it had that huge bounce, but notice it's still below the pink line. And so until it gets above EMA 4 at 28.29 with the close above and turns it into support, it will signal more downside risk. It was a nice bounce off of the 100-day simple moving average at 26.62. That's the gold line. As long as that level's holding, it's the reload zone. If there were to be a drop below, that's when you could really see it pull back. You know, the 200-day simple moving average is way down here at 22. You have the support at 23. If it can get above EMA 4, then once again, it's this EMA 8 at 29. There hasn't been a close above EMA 8. You know, it closed just right at EMA 4 since support broke way back here in March. So we're keeping an eye out for a bullish change in trend. If you look here at Intel closed up fractionally today, and so it had a nice bounce off of the 50-day simple moving average down here at 48.46. It needs to hold that level. If that level were to break and there was a close below, then you'd be looking at a drop down to the 100-day simple moving average, similar to February when it came down and tested that level. So it will be good if it can hold. It did close back below EMA 4. It has to break that 50 resistance zone. If it can get above 50, the big level is that middle Bollinger Band at 51. Notice the last couple of times it's gotten above that level, it's failed to hold and pulled back, and so it really has to turn 51 into support to get a new uptrend going. Right now, it has to break above 50 and hold 47. Okay, let's look at NVDA. It closed up fractionally as well. It had a big bounce off of the low. As you can see, they really gapped it down, way down here at 215. It closed way up at 226. It was an $11 move today. That was a huge move, but it's still below that you're just above that middle of EMA 4 at 226.20. I mean, it closed right basically at that level. It needs to turn that level into support and then get above 229. So above 229 tomorrow would be bullish, and then you'd be looking for a run up to EMA 13 at 232.55. If you see it struggling with 229, that could signal a temporary top. As you can see, the previous candles have been hitting that with the upper wick and pulling back. And then keep an eye on that 222, you know, at level. If it drops below that and closes below, that would be a major red flag. It has to hold that support zone. And finally, check out MU. This was actually, you know, one of the biggest gainers for the technology large cap stocks, and it closed up 3.5%. As you can see, it had a huge bounce off the 50-day simple moving average at 49, so that was a nice technical bounce. It closed back above EMA's 4 and 8, so it needs to stay above 52. If it dropped below 52 and closed below that level, that would be a red flag, and you could see 49 tested again. To the upside, if it can get above 54, this EMA 13, then that would be really bullish, and you'd be looking for a run back up to 56. Okay, thank you very much for viewing this video. We'll be seeing. We're gonna, you know, see if the technology sector can follow through tomorrow with another white candle. That would make it 3 in a row. That would be a major move if there was 3 up days in a row for the technology sector. All right, thank you very much. Please check out our chat. I'll post the link below the YouTube video.